in congratulating colleagues in NRM. And I want to be very careful, use the words of Honorable Guang for implementing their roadmap. That's the word he used. My concern, Madam Speaker, matters of welfare of members and their safety, even in our rules, a very serious matter. We have colleagues who were bruised in those elections. The Honorable Sechikubo was shot at, is here. The Honorable Aisa Agawa, I saw clips when she was being roughed up. The Prime Minister was slapped. Political parties, Madam Speaker, are public institutions. Political parties are public institutions. That's why we devote money. The internal, although it can be described as internal, but elections in political parties is a national matter, is a public matter. Madam Speaker, can we get government to explain, after these messy elections in which our own colleagues were roughed up and beaten, the Honorable Sechikubo survived, can we get government to tell us what happened in the NRM primaries, for which we pass money every year here, and give us assurance that having served themselves with these sort of elections, in which we congratulate those who survived, they are not going to serve the country with same elections, in which actually the first message of congratulation is for surviving. Can we get government, Madam Speaker,
thank you,
to explain, but also to listen from colleagues like Honorable Sechikubo, who nearly died?
Honorable members, we are aware not to wrap up anybody, to try to shoot anybody. Where we feel we are unfairly treated, that's why we have courts of law. But for now, since the tribunal of NRM is handling these matters, we should leave it to the tribunal. And a clarification on what?
Yeah, Madam Speaker,
honorable members,
we pay money to run political parties.
Honorable members, in the public gallery this afternoon, we have
guidance. The matters we have raised, you said investigation into the Honorable Sechikubo. Yet these matters are not Sembabule. For example, you had the Minister of State for Defense, or both, using a chopper in his NRM election. I don't know whether a chopper is an NRM equipment. UPDF chopper. So the procedure, because I raised these issues, is whether you should not allow an investigation into the messy NRM primary.
Honorable members, what is going to be investigated are matters of criminality. Matters of internal processes will be handled by the NRM party. The issue of honorable, of both, if at all he used a chopper, he's right. He's a minister of that department. Why don't you question when I use it? Why don't you question when I use it? And if you also want, ask for it and you will be given. And that is going too personal. Yes, Honorable Bua.
For the record, I am not a minister of state. I know, Honorable Ssemujju, you want me not even to be a minister at all. But by God's grace, I am the cabinet minister of defense. And there is no record that I used the chopper for my primaries. One of the equipments I have as a minister includes vehicles, helicopters, Sukhois. So this is what is available to me.
Honorable Speaker, I want to again join you in, I don't know whether to congratulate colleagues that went through their processes successfully, and the reason is we are waiting for them around the corner. So enjoy that win while it lasts, because we are surely waiting for you around the corner. But I also want to commiserate and console those that did not make it. May the good Lord strengthen you. Honorable Speaker, you see, it's important for our electoral processes, first of all, to be violence-free. We've been talking about colleagues that survived violence, Honorable Ssemujju and others. The Prime Minister was slapped or punched or both. But at least she's alive, right, Honorable Speaker? There are several people who died during these NRM primaries in various districts. And we are yet to see justice prevail. You know, many times people die, people are killed, and we easily move on. This has got to stop. And so for me, I condemn this. Even though those that died are NRM supporters, they are Ugandans. And we hope that whoever participated in these killings gets to be brought to book. Because if that does not happen, right, Honorable Speaker, we are going to see a repeat or even worse in the upcoming general elections. So action has got to be taken. Because if that doesn't happen, those who killed, now that was just during the NRM primaries, at the grand scale, it's probably going to be worse. We have got to condemn this, and action has got to be taken. Honorable Speaker, we have said severally that it's important for our electoral processes, our democratic processes, to exude integrity. And some colleagues laugh at those issues and say, well, you opposition people, each time you talk about those things, because you're always losing. I saw powerful people, I saw ministers crying, saying I have been rigged out. These are things that we have always talked about. Of course, now it's happening in your home, but that's what happens nationally. We need to work towards electoral process integrity. And look, even the current laws, and we are waiting for the regulations coming from the Minister of Justice. But you see, even our current jurisprudence as it is, if we were to follow it to the letter, our laws don't allow, for example, for the military to get involved in electoral processes. That's the law as it exists today. But the military keeps getting involved at every turn. We saw what happened in the Kawempe by-elections. That has got to stop. That doesn't have to wait for amendment of a certain law or whatever. It's already a law in place. Can we execute it that way? So colleagues on this side, whenever we talk about these things, and some of you, perhaps not all of you, some of you say, well, opposition, you're crying as usual. That's what happens. When a boat is sinking, no one is safe in a sinking boat. No one. And that's what is happening now. So you need to join us to say, we need to have integrity in. I was saying that all of us have got to speak in unison, that we need to have integrity in our democratic processes. Because when it happens to us and you laugh about it, it's going to come. Because when this boat is sinking, regardless where you are seated, you know, I'm told in these cruises there is first class, also business, economy. Even if you're in the business of first class of that sinking boat, you will sink. The minister is asking for clarification. With the speaker's permission, I can take the clarification.
Yes,
let me take
Minister.
it. Can I get to know from him, is it the NOP vote? The NOP vote? Yeah.
NRM election, that's not where I'm going. But because the Minister of Justice is in the House, and the last time he was in the House, and the elections and their manner of handling was a matter in issue, he made a commitment that he will come to the House with, because Right Honourable Speaker, very true to form that the NRM election cannot be looked at in isolation as a rehearsal that left to serve justice. And a former victim, yes, I'm using this word on purpose, former victim of wrongly managed elections, committed to the House that is working on something that will help us overcome the problems of wrongly managed elections, multiple voting, and so on. Right, Honorable Speaker, this morning, I was speaking to a friend from the NRM, and he said that he actually won, but not declared because the votes were counted in base 10. That he won because electronic voting is a form of ensuring transparency in voting and tallying. So will the minister rise and inform the country the status quo or repair our backs for the worst? Honorable Speaker.
I will give the minister to respond to you. Let's first have Honorable Ssemujju.
And their safety, even in our rules, a very serious matter. We have colleagues who were bruised in those elections. The Honorable Ssemujju was shot at, is here. The Honorable Aisa Agaba, I saw clips when she was being roughed up. The Prime Minister was slapped. Political parties, Madam Speaker, are public institutions. Political parties are public institutions. That's why we devote money. The internal, although it can be described as internal, but elections in political parties is a national matter, is a public matter. Madam Speaker, can we get government to explain, after these messy elections in which our own colleagues were roughed up and beaten, the Honorable Ssemujju survived, can we get government to tell us what happened in the NRM primaries for which we pass money every year here? And give us assurance that having served themselves with these sort of elections in which we congratulate those who survived, they are not going to serve the country with the same elections in which actually the first message of congratulation is for surviving. Can we get government, Madam Speaker, to explain, but also to listen from colleagues like Honorable Ssemujju who nearly died?
Honorable members.